Thank you very much, Governor. It is just and good that we pass this bill and that it's going to be signed because it protects, as the governor said, young women, but also young men, boys and girls. We had a compromise in 2017, but it's great for us to draw that bright line at 18 because there's so many other legal ramifications. But amongst all the other people, the advocates, the folks from Torrington that pushed for this, and there was also what I would call performance lobbying on the day that came before the Senate, which was unusual, but I loved all the people dressed up in wedding gowns actually performing a play criticizing our current state of the law here in Connecticut. But I also want to say that Johnny Dock, the Chief of Staff for the Governor's Office, came and testified and raised this other issue. Not only were we an island amongst the other states around us, but when the United States of America, either through the State Department or United Nations representatives, goes to other nations and says it is unfair, particularly to girls, but unfair internationally to have child marriage, they would come back to us and say, well, what about states like Connecticut? And so finally, we are now part of the majority of states moving in this direction in the United States, but it also gives us that gravitas, that position where we can talk from a position of authority morally to the other countries in the world. And so I wanted to thank him for taking the time. This may not have brought to our attention that it happens in Connecticut a lot, but even once is too much. And as Lieutenant Governor Bysewicz did indicate, even though we had protections for girls and boys 16 and 17, no one knows what happens when that procedure is done and you have to go back home. You have to deal with other people that might be in positions of power. And it could be with the best of intentions, but as Lieutenant Governor Bysewicz said, it could be nefarious and deleterious to the health and welfare of these children. So I'm very proud of the efforts made by Representative Cook over the years and my colleagues, and thank you, Governor, for having this.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Senator. And now I'm going to